Well, Matt, you've outdone yourself. You really hoodwink these people into thinking you're important, and this time you're driving I don't know, what is MSRP on this thing? 165?
194. Don't shortchange it.
No,
194.
I
Actually,
know.
they start at 181.
Well, that's what I was saying. The Porsche with the a la carte stuff, you can get them down to a loaded Camry, and then build it up to a...
You're right. I think the Porsche 911 Turbo is, I don't know, 120, 130. Don't quote me on that. This is the Turbo S. So you automatically get a bunch of other options in it. It starts at 181. This one, as it sits, is 194. And believe me, it doesn't have all of the options on it. I'm sure you can get well over 200. But here's the big rich guy dilemma, right? Is you spend $200,000 on a car, on anything that you think is really cool sports car, but do you drive it 3,000 miles a year? Or do you get something like this and drive it 8,000 miles a year? Because this car is awesome to drive every day. It is so comfortable to drive on the freeway, and it's got gobs and gobs of power. Just in normal mode, it's got sick power. And then when you put it in its Sport Plus mode, it's just a big, hairy chested animal.
Well, it's got a 3.8.
3.8.
And it's putting out 557.
60?
560. Well, I was off by a whole 3 horsepower.
560 horsepower, all-wheel drive.
All-wheel drive.
It's got dynamic suspension, dynamic handling. It's got torque vectoring on the all-wheel drive. You can even see the little gauge in there, and that.
I mean, you got 20-inch rims.
It's got carbon ceramic brakes.
Calipers are taking up the whole.
Yeah,
it's just the rotor's taking up the whole rim.
The stopping power is equally as phenomenal.
So
as the power.
it is an unbelievable drive it every day supercar. But here's my question. This is why I believe the whole Richard Gere gerbil story. Because when you're married to a 28-year-old Cindy Crawford, and you just come home every day and have sex with 28-year-old Cindy Crawford, at a certain point, she's just the lady you've been having the same sex with for the last 5 years. Out comes the gerbil. You see what I'm saying? This car starts off as Cindy Crawford. Yeah. Eventually, you're eating chili fries, sitting in traffic, you know what I mean? Shaving at the stoplight. You look to you got takeout wrappers on the passenger seat. It's just your car that you drive every day. So what I would say is, even though you could drive this car every day, if you could afford this car, get yourself an Audi 4 or an Audi 6 or something. Drive that to work and back, and then on the weekends, you got this. Not because you couldn't drive it every day, just because that's your gourmand you keep on the side. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Or you could just lease it for 3 years, and every 3 years you get a fresh new 28-year-old Cindy Crawford.
Ooh. All right, but she's going to be 31 when you turn her in.
That's it. That's fine. But she goes back in time every 3 years.
Does the car come with a gerbil? Or? Yeah, it is.
The only frustrating thing, and I know this is something that you'll figure out right away, is where do you put your phone? I don't know where to put my phone.
Oh, because it's always one flopping big
around
slick,
between my legs,
whatever.
And like it's just no
Bluetooth,
place to put
baby.
it. You know.
God bless Porsche for looking like a Porsche in 2014. Basically, you could take a look at a Porsche from 1966 and fast forward 50 years and go, this is the same. I can see the lineage here. And that's all these cars do. They just keep getting better.
I just can't imagine another car company taking something that's a clean sheet of paper and coming up with something like this. This needs decades of trial and error.
Right.
To get this as well as it is.
Got the key permanently mounted to the left.
This is a flap that you open so you can get to the fluids.
Right.
And I know Porsche's thinking, don't touch my amazing engine. They're like, we over here in Germany know how to do it. Don't touch it.
Not much chance of you getting.
But as a car guy, like, you buy this car and you want to show off the engine.
Right. You're not going to adjust the valves, but you do want to pop something and look at it.
So you lose a little bit of that, but I feel like it's the smartest car. The electronics and the transmission and how it holds gears and rev matches, and it just knows what you're doing before you know how to do it. And no other car that I've driven seems to do that. This Sport Plus mode, I think, raises a wing and lowers the, I don't know if the wing's gonna go up before I'm driving, but.
Now the thing that's crazy about this car, because of the materials it's made out of, because it's got under a 4-liter motor, turbocharged, because it's slippery as hell in the wind tunnel, I'll bet you if you wanted to drive this thing to Vegas at 65 miles an hour continuously, you'd get 36 miles per gallon. Like if you could.
It's already rated at like 17 and 24 street and highway, but even at 24, it's like, what else is out there? I mean, the Corvette does pretty well, but I don't know that your GTR is going to get 24. I don't know your McLaren's going to get 24.
Well, listen.
And I bet you could hypermile it and do even better.
I had a Mini Cooper S that I was getting about 13 miles a gallon with because I drove the shit out of it.
Right.
And that's the whole thing. It's like when you're redlining it, shift, it was a manual shift, but little motor, fun little go-kart. There's a way that you can drive this car or a Corvette and get much better mileage than I got on my Mini Cooper, because you drive a Mini Cooper like an asshole.
I would drive this thing to Vegas all day long. I wouldn't think twice about it. As much as you wanted to, get a big Panamera and stuff, a couple guys in it, I would drive this no problem. And I'll tell you what, Porsche claims 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds.
Wow.
And it
feels like it.
You hit the gas in this thing, it's like riding a bullet. It just fires, man. It is so much fun.
There's actually enough room in the back seat that my two twins could comfortably sit back there, or the small Asian prostitute that Matt would pick up in Vegas. All right, well, there it is. Another amazing offering by Porsche. And until next time, this is Adam Carolla for Matt, the Motorator, DeAndrea saying keep the air in the spare and the bag in the wheel.